Welcome back to Ben's Top 10. And when I was a kid, parents didn't feel like they shouldn't be parents. There's no doubt about it. My childhood kicked grass. I was growing up at a time when we had the best cartoons, the best movies, the best video games, the best snacks, the best drinks, the best commercials, and the best reading material. But what I loved best was the cartoons. However, for every good cartoon that came out of my childhood, there were the not-so-good cartoons. The cartoons I loved as a kid, but as I aged, they didn't age well with me. These are the cartoons that, looking back, I couldn't believe I liked them as a kid. So, I'm counting down my top 10 cartoons from my childhood that have almost tainted my image on cartoons. So, get ready to have your childhoods destroyed. Here are my top 10 classic cartoons I hate. Number 10. Dexter's Laboratory. This show was part of the original cartoon stable that put Cartoon Network on the map. This cartoon is about a little boy who has a lab in his bedroom, and it leads to him having some very big misadventures as he tries to keep it a secret from his parents. I loved this show as a kid. Well, with Cartoon Network being my favorite channel, I loved every cartoon they aired. However, that's kind of what caused my love of it to get killed. I watched it constantly because Cartoon Network aired it constantly. I've watched every episode several times, and I just felt like I've seen it all and there was just no more surprises from it. And that was one of the fun parts of this show. Seeing as how Dexter uses science a lot, you were always wondering what trouble he would get into next. But after knowing what was going to happen, it just didn't seem good anymore. And that's why this show is so low on the list. I'll admit, it's a good show, but for me, I've just seen it way too many times that I can't get myself to watch it anymore. Sorry, Dex. These days aren't fine days for science. Number 9. The Wacky World of Tex Avery. I'll start off by saying that I didn't grow up with this show. When I heard about it, I thought, the Wacky World of Tex Avery? Wow, that sounds awesome! Yes, you all know I'm a huge fan of Tex Avery's cartoons, so I thought this show would be just like them. I looked up some episodes on YouTube, and I can see why I've never heard of this show. This cartoon sucks! The characters are annoying, the animation is subpar, and the worst part is, it has Tex Avery's name on it. Talk about false advertising. Tex Avery cartoons are supposed to be wacky, fast-paced, but most of all, funny. This show wasn't funny. It was wacky, it was fast-paced, but it wasn't funny. It was loud, obnoxious, and felt like a show made by people with Tourette's syndrome. Yeah, so you can call this show the Looney Tunes show of its day, but give the Looney Tunes show credit. At least they tried to use the Looney Tunes characters. This show just made up its own annoying characters and slapped Tex Avery's name on it. What a disgraced animation. I'm glad I didn't grow up liking this show, and I just recently discovered it, because I never would have forgiven myself if I loved something this repulsive. Number 8. Cow and Chicken. Another one of Cartoon Network's original cartoons that I loved when I was a tyke. However, as I got older, I saw this show as being really disgusting and really weird. It was about Cow and her brother, Chicken. How they can be siblings, I do not know. And they go on misadventures. And that's about it. This show just doesn't hold up when you're an adult. For starters, it's a Ren and Stimpy ripoff. But Ren and Stimpy had more to it than just being weird at times. That's what made it good. This show was just being weird and disgusting for the sake of it. Also, the jokes are immature, the plots made no sense, and the characters range from being annoying to being downright intolerable. Some examples of how weird this show is came from one episode about Chicken and his friends bringing their favorite action figure, Sergeant Weenie Arms, to life. What the heck am I smoking? Wait, I don't smoke. Also, what's with the red guy walking around naked? If you're trying to appeal to the people that would find that attractive, that's a very small percentage of viewership. So, yeah, this show was something I can't stand to watch now. Although, that theme music is really catchy. Number 7. Challenge of the Superfriends. For years, this is what many people thought of when they heard the word superheroes. Boy, that was a bad representation. Anyway, this show is about the Superfriends. Superman, Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Wonder Twins, and they fight against the Legion of Doom. What makes this cartoon so bad is that it was on in the 60s. And that was during the Silver Age of superheroes. And we all know what that means. Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, the way they portrayed the superheroes in this show, they made them look so incredibly stupid. Batman and Robin were idiots, Aquaman was useless, and the less I say about the Wonder Twins, the better. Sheesh, I can't believe the Legion of Doom haven't taken over the world due to how stupid the heroes were. Budget. The voice acting was annoying, and the show was just so incredibly cheesy, it was funny. That's the only redeeming quality of this cartoon, laughing at how bad it is. And if a cartoon is so bad it's good, then there's no doubt it can't be taken seriously. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, Aquaman is vacuuming because he can't do anything. Sorry, couldn't resist. Number 6. Famous Studios Popeye cartoons. The oldest cartoon series on this list. Yes, there was a time when Popeye cartoons sucked. And it all starts with Famous Studios. For those of you unaware, Famous Studios was the animation studio Paramount made after Max and Dave Fleischer were forced to leave the Fleischer Studios. After Max and Dave left, Famous made a lot of cartoons that Max and Dave started, and Popeye was one of them. Their Popeye cartoons are... well, the best way I can describe it is bland. The animation was bland, the characters were bland, the jokes were bland, the voices were bland, 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 bland. It was hard watching what they did to poor Popeye. Anyway, all the plots were the exact same thing, and they were always predictable. I'll give Famous this though, their 40s Popeyes are good, but not as good as Max and Dave's. It's the 50s cartoons when they really start to show how bad they are. And the Famous cartoons aren't as bad as the King Features cartoons or the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but they started this trend of bad Popeyes, so it makes the list. So, Famous Studios is the classic cartoon studio you should stay away from. Number 5. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Hey, here's an idea. Let's give some fictional singers their own cartoon show. Genius! Yeah, real genius. Anyway, Alvin and the Chipmunks were fictional singers from the late 50s that gained popularity just for singing songs with high-pitched voices. I don't have any idea how they became popular either. So, in the 80s, Deke made their own cartoons. Thanks a lot, you Deke heads. So, we not only got annoyed by the Chipmunks' voices, we also got annoyed at their incredibly annoying antics. All this cartoon was the Chipmunks singing songs we love very badly and getting into trouble. It sucks. I just don't understand the appeal of these characters. Sure, some people say, "Oh, they're so cute." Yeah, since when did ear-bleeding helium voices become cute? Well, I guess it started with these buck-toothed jackholes, which would explain why Justin Bieber is so popular today. Bottom line, Alvin and the Chipmunks was a bland cartoon with annoying characters. I'll give this cartoon credit though. It's a lot better than those trash-covered live-action movies. Oh, great. Now I have to go wash my mouth out with soap because I mentioned those movies. Number 4. Transformers. This is a cartoon that was over way before my time, but since it's classic, I'm adding it to the list. I'm probably one of the few people I know that doesn't like this cartoon. Anyway, this cartoon is about the Autobots, the good robots, and the Decepticons, the bad robots, and they fight each other. No, there's nothing else. That's the whole plot. Anyway, that's my main gripe with this cartoon. It's just robots fighting each other. Some would say, no duh, what do you expect? I don't know. Would it have killed them to add more to it? I mean, the characters have no character. I can't tell most of these robots apart. But then again, maybe I shouldn't have expected good quality from this cartoon, seeing as how it was made just to sell toys to boys. Well, I don't support that. If you're going to make a cartoon, make a cartoon. If you want to sell toys, that's what commercials are for. In my opinion, the only good redeeming quality of this cartoon is Frank Welker voicing Megatron. Anything that man does, I love. Bottom line, Transformers are not more than meets the eye, because all they are robots that change into vehicles. Number 3, My Little Pony. Oh gosh, now we're getting into the really crappy cartoons. Anyway, the plot of My Little Pony is... there is no plot. It's just ponies prancing around, doing nothing, and acting all girly. Well, with that out of the way, now I can rip this rainbow-colored crap to shreds. Again, the ponies have no character. And again, I can't even tell half these ponies apart. None of these ponies are interesting! Firefly is the only good character because she's basically the prototype for Rainbow Dash. Too bad she only appears in the movies! Any other human girl would be freaked out there are talking ponies, but not this ditzy bimbo. And again, this cartoon is another money-making scheme by Hasbro. However, this cartoon was made to sell toys to girls instead of boys. Yeah, because things needed to be balanced out in the 80s. Anyway, I've heard from some people that this cartoon is actually good because the villains were good. Yeah, right. Most of the villains were weird and annoying, and they all had the exact goal. Use the ponies for God knows what, I don't care. I'll admit, the villain from the first movie was okay, but he's no Discord. Discord. Bum bum. Anyway, some might say I'm just bashing on this show because I love friendship as magic, but no. I gave this cartoon a chance, and I just couldn't take it. And I get so annoyed that when I say I like friendship as magic, people think I mean this pony crap. Has lovable characters. Has bland characters. The ponies in this cartoon are ugly. This cartoon is hilarious. This cartoon isn't funny at all. This cartoon is for all ages. This cartoon is for stereotypical 5-year-old girls. This cartoon is made by animators who know what they're doing. And this cartoon is made by animators who just want money. There you go. My Little Pony is every girl's dream, at least according to Hasbro, and every boy's nightmare. Number 2, Rugrats. I love this show. I don't know how many times I fell on my head as a kid either. Anyway, this show is about babies. Nothing else. Man, a lot of these cartoons are lacking in the story. Anyway, what I hate most about this show is it's a cartoon made for babies. So, when you grow up, it really loses its appeal. I don't think it's even good for a nostalgia trip. And I'm surprised at how many people my age love this show. For crying in the night! All it is babies talking about poop, puke, and several other gross things I don't want to talk about. Gross! But when the gross content isn't getting on your nerves, then the characters are. Tommy is just Tommy. Chucky is afraid of everything. I swear, this kid needs therapy. For Pete's sake, he thinks the Quaker Oats man is scary. Oh, come on! When has the Quaker Oats man ever been... Tonight, you. Okay. Anyway, then there's Phil and Lil, the most disgusting characters I've ever seen in a cartoon. These babies eat everything. Ants, 5-year-old macaroni that's been in the basement, worms. It's just too gross to bear. Not to mention, they get into arguments and they never shut up. Then there's Angelica. My gosh, I hate this witch. Even as a kid, I hated her. She's got nothing else better to do but pick on babies. Get a life! And I could talk about how dumb the adults are, but I don't want to be here all day. So bottom line, Rugrats is a bad cartoon show that I'm glad I was able to mature out of. Again, they're just babies. Do something! And the number one classic cartoon I hate is... I was going to make Rugrats number one, but there was one cartoon show I remember that I couldn't ignore. One cartoon that used to give me joy as a kid, but as I got older, took the joy and twisted it like a piece of stale taffy. A cartoon that I thought would end, but they just wouldn't let it die. And that cartoon is... Scooby-Doo! That's right, the cartoon that everybody loves, I hate the most! The cartoon about all those young adults solving mysteries with their annoying dog. I hate it! The franchise that's been going on for over 40 years and it's still going on, and I'm not even going to talk about the plot because everybody knows it. So, I'll get to why I hate this show. Like I said, I used to love Scooby-Doo as a kid. Who didn't? But I soon realized that every single episode of every single show of this franchise is the exact same thing. It got old so quickly. And the characters, oh my gosh, the characters. Fred is boring. Velma is so nerdy, it's annoying. Daphne is annoying, and Scooby's speech impediment just gets on my nerves. The only good character is Shaggy. Too bad he's a stoner that eats dog food. Okay, I'll admit, if Scooby-Doo Where Are You was the only show in this franchise, I wouldn't hate it as much. But no, Hanna-Barbera saw an opportunity and kept making show after show after show, adding new characters that we all hated. It just wouldn't stop! Scooby-Doo got voted Cartoon President in Cartoon Network's Cartoon Campaign 2000. Oh, give me a break! Aquaman would make a better president than Scooby-Doo! So, yeah, I hate the Scooby-Doo franchise, mainly for its repetitive. I find in this show is for those catchy songs that play during chase scenes. Too bad they don't have anything to do with what's going on screen! Anyway, had Cartoon Network not overexposed it, maybe I would be easier on it. But those wounds never heal. Gosh dang it! All the airtime on this franchise, wasted! It could have been used to air good cartoons, but no! Stupid annoying dog! And those are my least favorite cartoons from my childhood. This only shows just because I grew up with something doesn't mean I'm going to like it into adulthood. In my opinion, a good cartoon should be just as good, if not better, than it was when you were a kid. And these shows just don't age well. Anyway, tonight, you. Okay. Anyway, I'm Ben, and I'm signing out. I'm going to...